Live from downtown Detroit, Local 4 News First at 4 starts now.
All right, get ready. Snow on the way. The temps drop back below freezing. We are taking a live look right now. This is Mission Point Resort over on Mackinac Island, where you can see some of those snowflakes flying. Pretty soon, Metro Detroit won't look much different. Good afternoon, everybody, and thank you for joining us here first at 4. I'm Karen Drew. Our big story, the weather, also how it could affect your holiday travel plans. For the very latest, let's send it over to Brett on what we're going to expect for tonight.
Yeah, we've got snow moving in, and this is going to be impactful. You're going to have to move it, and that Friday morning drive will likely be a little bit slower. So here's the exact track 4D radar, and you can see back out to the west of us, the deeper, darker blues. They're getting closer. Those deeper, darker blues is where the heavier snowfalls are at the moment, and those are expected to move in later on. Now, for us across southeastern Michigan, temperatures are on the cold side, plenty cold to support the snow, upper 20s and lower 30s at the moment. So through the evening, the snow starts to move in, picks up in both coverage and intensity, especially as we get closer to midnight here tonight. And then again, by Friday morning, your drive could be a little bit slow. A quick peek at the weekend forecast. Maybe a few more flakes on Saturday. Sunday should be a dry day, but notice it's a much colder weekend following the snow, with highs only in the 20s. We'll time it out hour by hour, talk about how much you'll have to move in just a bit. In the meantime, make sure you have the Forewarn weather app with it, your hourly forecasts, exact track 4D radar, all right there in the palm of your hand.
All right, thanks so much, Brett. Now, Michigan's lame duck session put on hold for now after days of chaos. All 54 House Republicans have boycotted the session, along with one Democrat. Representative Will Jones, following these latest events unfold over the past couple of days, Will, the drama continues.
Karen, it's been an interesting day to say the least. It's been hard to keep up. As you mentioned, House members were no shows today, and one Democratic House member was absent as well. So here's what happened today. Speaker Joe Tate implemented a call of the House, which means trying to force members to attend a session, hoping to get a quorum. House Republicans continued their boycott over House Democrats not addressing their concerns during the lame duck session. Democratic State Rep Karen Whitsett also taking that approach with her concerns. House Democrats would have still been able to move on legislation without Republicans present if their caucus was united. Tate ended up adjourning session until December 31st. After that, Whitsett did make her way to the House chamber, where she spoke to reporters about Tate's leadership.
These are all promises never kept. This is the poorest leadership I have ever seen in my 6 years. It's a doggone shame. In order to get help on issues, I had to go to the Republican leader.
Now, coming up at 5, you're going to hear more from Whitsett, and it's interesting that she spoke during that news conference alongside Speaker-elect Matt Hall, who is a Republican. So we're going to break that all down for you coming up at 5. But right now, we're live in Lansing. Will Jones, Local 4.
All right, we appreciate it. Thank you, Will. Meantime, GOP leaders are facing some heat over on Capitol Hill, where a federal government shutdown could happen as soon as the clock strikes midnight on Saturday. Now, that's when the government will run out of money. House Speaker Mike Johnson and other Republicans, like President-elect Trump, are objecting to a proposed bill which included billions of dollars in spending. So that sent leaders back to the drawing board on what to do next. So if there is a government shutdown, it could affect things like federal workers' paychecks, depending on how long it goes on for. It is worth noting that jobs considered essential will continue, but those workers will not be paid until a new spending bill is passed. Okay, so I wanted you to take a look at this new video. We just got it into our newsroom about 2 hours ago, and it shows the moment suspected murderer Luigi Mangione touched down in New York after being extradited from Pennsylvania. This story getting a lot of hits on our website, clickondetroit.com. Courtroom sketches show Mangione in Pennsylvania earlier today. The state of New York requested he be sent back to Manhattan to face 11 counts stemming from that December 4th murder. The charges include 1 count of first-degree murder, 2 counts of second-degree murder. According to the indictment, if convicted, he faces life in prison without the possibility of parole. Now, closer to home, police are looking for a man accused of stabbing and killing someone over on the city's east side. Look at this. It's a screen grab of security video police provided us of the person they believe is responsible. Happened earlier this year. It was April 3rd. It was about 4 o'clock in the afternoon over on Mack Avenue near Lake Point. We don't know much about the victim, but police say he went to his job, was talking to the young man that you see in this photo, who allegedly stabbed him, then drove away in a black and green Mini Cooper. So if you recognize the man on your screen, please call 1-800-SPEAK-UP. Also, some new video from Michigan State Police showing the moments 5 people were arrested for robbing an Amazon delivery driver at gunpoint. Now, this happened Tuesday night at 6 over on Corville Street. That's near Outer Drive. Detroit officers located the suspect car, and then a Michigan State Police helicopter actually continued to track that car when it fled. According to state police, video showing that the suspect vehicle eventually came to a stop. 5 people got out, ran away from the car. All 5 were taken into custody. We're following a developing story going on tonight regarding some disturbing allegations made against a Roseville Community School staff member. Now, the staff member was placed on paid leave this week after a woman came forward on social media saying that he sexually assaulted her at a Detroit school, and that was back in 2016. Roseville School Superintendent sent a letter to parents letting them know about the staff member being suspended, saying the action is, quote, not a determination of wrongdoing, but rather a procedural step to ensure thorough and fair review. Right now, Detroit police tell us they have opened up an investigation but can't share more details, but we are keeping a close call on this story. We'll let you know when we learn more on that one. All right, after talking for decades about the expansion possibilities, Detroit's people mover may finally be set in motion to other neighborhoods. Right now, there is a meeting going on underway with the Detroit Transportation Corporation, and that could move plans forward. Kim DeGiulio getting a closer look at the planning process.
The People Mover has been a staple here in downtown Detroit since the 1980s. It helps people get all around just the downtown area. And now they did just do some repairs to the tracks, but they've never really done anything else to it. But that could be what the future holds. The Detroit Transportation Corporation, which operates the People Mover, is aiming to launch a downtown mobility study funded by an $800,000 grant from the Michigan Department of Transportation. Officials hope the study will identify short-term improvements and a long-term expansion. Things like better signage, enhanced station connections, and updates to make the train easier to access. According to Cranes, the request for proposals closed on November 15th, and a recommended vendor is expected to be presented to the Detroit Transportation Corporation today for approval. If approved, the study will focus on a 7.2 square mile area, including neighborhoods like Midtown, Eastern Market, Lafayette Park, Rivertown, and Corktown. As downtown Detroit continues to grow into a residential and commercial hub, officials say the People Mover needs to evolve. So again, if that request is approved, that study would start early next year. It's a 12-month study. So is this something that we would see in the near future? The answer to that is no, but they are taking steps to maybe make that a reality sometime in the next couple of years. In downtown Detroit, I'm Kim DeGiulio, Local 4.
All right, thank you very much, Kim. Now, the sound of a siren and police lights in the rearview mirror usually isn't a combination that puts anyone in a holly jolly mood. However, Sterling Heights police officers putting a special twist on pulling people over. Sean Lay was inside the cop car and got to see this officer spread some joy.
Sterling Heights, nice woman here got pulled over from an officer here. Officer Talia here with Sterling Heights because she went through a yellow red light on a very busy Mound Road out here. Here's the deal, though. It's a real traffic stop, but the officer, you can roll down your window real quick, is giving out gift cards instead of tickets out of the goodness of his heart, out of his own pocket. Officer Talia, can we see one of the cards?
Yeah.
And so far you've given out 2. What kind of reaction are you getting?
It's amazing. It's smiles, you know, I mean, it's Christmas.
That's really cool, really cool. Out of his own pocket, gift cards, and then a local business heard about this, teamed up with him, and got $1,000 more in gift cards to give out. We're going to get back in. I can't wait to show you this live at 5 on Local 4.